Welcome back. Welcome back. How's everyone doing today? My name is Corey Phillips. We are back with another Wealth Wednesday. We're going to be breaking down what's really moving the economy from AI, crypto to interest rates. But what's most importantly, how you can apply this into your life and how you can use this to utilize to build wealth. Let's build wealth with intention so we can continue to share this to our communities and continue to empower people across the world. So I'm going to continue to share this again. Make sure to like and subscribe, share it with your friends and family so we can make sure that we can continue to build this up and continue to utilize this information. So right now, I'm just going to get straight into it. I have another couple of things. I'll be at a couple of conferences coming up. I'll be at Northern Illinois University on Monday. At one of their panels for the business, as well as Justin Vincent, Justo, the CEO, will be there present, and a couple other people that's within our network. Shout out to them for inviting us out. I appreciate the invite. I'll be at Evanston Township High School next Wednesday for their conference that they're doing for their high school. A very nice event for wealth and connection in the community. And I'll be at the Beats Conference with Mays Music Center next Saturday. So I'll be pretty busy next week, but I'm gonna get straight to all of this content. So we have a lot of stuff going on. Today, NVIDIA just hit $5 trillion in market cap, and global AI supply chain control. NVIDIA is not just a stock anymore, it's the whole entire infrastructure. Companies that own the tools to production are the ones that are gonna be most profitable over the next 5, 10, 20 years. Chips, data, and cloud control the whole entire economy for artificial intelligence. Be able to study where the inputs are and be able to look at the tools of production so that we can be able to look semiconductors, compute power, energy, data, infrastructure. That's what can continue to get long-term built returns that are going to continue to be built. If you missed the AI boom, learn what the second wave is. The companies that sell the shovels during the gold rush, the people that make more profitable during these most important times. We're looking at the chips, we're looking at that type of stuff, but looking at the people who control the energy, look at people that control the cloud, look at people that control the data, and look at the people that are providing the infrastructure around this whole entire wave so that you can be successful without being lucky inside this new wave and take advantage of some of these opportunities. There's a lot of stuff. We look at cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and Ethereum inflows to all-time highs, where when institutions move in, that's when typically the game changes. A lot of more money is being pulled in, a lot more serious investors continue to go. And digital assets are becoming more mainstream in central portfolios. So that's something that we need to continue to look at is keep your crypto as a speculative sleeve, keep 1.1 to 5% max, but size matters more than the hype. So being able to understand a lot of the stuff that you're looking at is off of speculation. Understand that a lot of these companies, whether you talk about quantum computing, a lot of these companies are not going to be profitable over the next 3 to 5 years. So you're looking at these companies going all-time highs, you're going off of speculation rather than just hype. And same thing with cryptocurrency. You want to put into some of the main coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, things like that. But understand it's not a short-term solution. It's a long-term opportunity. So for people to understand that you're not going to try to get rich quick over some of these systems and to take out some of the fundamentals of investing that's so important. Ownership isn't just physical anymore, but it's something that's understanding the shift before you chase the profit. That's something that we need to understand that's just so important as we build these different ecosystems, is that we need to be able to position ourselves. We are not just looking at the physical world, but we're looking at this next world of digital currency, AI, all these things going towards the future. And we look at interest rates today. The federal rates cuts on the horizon, holding the 3%. We need to be able to show that if we continue to have lower interest rates, that's going to be able to have more money at a cheaper borrowing price. So we can be able to use that for cheaper loans to make money. So these businesses become more profitable. Review your portfolio, like depending on how the portfolio is going to look. They might push off some of the rate cuts for next year, but look at it as an opportunity for people to understand which companies are going to benefit from these rate cuts and different alternative assets like gold, commodities, silver, real estate, things like that can benefit tremendously from rate cuts. But understand what that does for inflation and the rising cost of goods as well, because that can have a tremendous effect on many of those things. Another thing is looking at global supply, global war, global outlook, geopolitical issues. Is that there's a lot of power shift between the United States and China as far as the semiconductor dominance and national competition. Is that it's not just fought with weapons anymore. It's really fought with data, and it's fought through technology. Innovation compounds farther than imitation. So the U.S. wins when it creates, and China has to catch up and copy. But ecosystems that continue to own IP for different systems and structures, tech, clean energy, biotech. Don't buy trends, buy things that are transforming the ecosystem. We don't need a lot of these different companies that are not really profitable, that are not really helping the economy, but look at different companies that continue to build leverage and continue to build opportunities towards the future. And then like looking at how people understand how what it truly is about building wealth. We talk about making money all day, but it's really about how you can be able to make money. It's many different processes. Like you look how the wealthy people actually make money, how they actually invest. You need to be able to build personal systems within your life. A lot of people don't look at that, but they think it's just that they make money, they spend it, and they go over from there. No, they have a whole entire framework that they use in order to build wealth. First, they earn it. They develop skills and credibility for what they do and get paid for it. And then they invest, they allocate their earned money into appreciating assets. They own different investment vehicles, build equity, not hours. They don't think about how many hours they can put in, but how many assets can I own? And then they reinvest the poor profits back into their ecosystem. So instead of you trying to work, for how many hours you spend, you save and then you spend. If you're not putting your money to appreciating assets, your money cannot grow and not compound over the course of time. Look how you can earn money, use a skill to make money that you get paid to do, and invest the money you make from that skill, not depending on the hour. Own, build equity in different businesses, build different stocks, real estate, ownership in different IPs, things like that. And then continue to reinvest that. A lot of people go one time, but then you continue to reinvest that over the course of time, and you'll see a lot of different investment vehicles where you're diversified in different avenues. So you can continue to be leveraged in different positions, whether real estate goes up, stock market, things like that. 3 things that have never gone down in the history of the United States is GDP, stock prices, the S&P 500, and also you look at real estate prices. Those 3 things that have never gone up over the history, that have gone up 100% of the time in U.S. history is GDP, the stock market, and real estate prices. So if you invest in those 3 different avenues, you can continue to see that your assets continue to go up over the course of time. Of course, past don't predict the future, but if you look into different vehicles, you can see a lot of good returns if you hold them for long periods of time, because understand that time in the market is more important than time in the market. So that's time is your greatest asset you can never get back. So whether you're spending that to buy things to impress other people that you don't know to like, or things that don't help you build to your true authentic self, or you can use that money to invest in things that can truly transform your future, transform your life, and give you the freedom that you truly desire. Another thing is looking at brand transaction and building long-term equity. Is every creator, entrepreneur is a media company now. With your smartphone right now, every single person has the ability to promote their own voice. So attention is today's real estate. Your brand is your deed. So you need to understand that you build trust, not just sales. Don't try to sell a product to people, but provide value. Provide something that you can be able to use that can help solve people's problems. Use your own distribution, your email list, your community, direct followers. Use your story as marketing, not just your product. Your brand equity is more an attention economy. So continue to look at Tesla. Tesla is not the best company because they make great vehicles. There's many other companies that make better vehicles than Tesla, but they continue to utilize leverage through their storytelling. If Elon Musk wasn't as powerful as through his influence, Tesla would not be a multi-trillion-dollar company. But with him being CEO of that company, he able to provide attention that other people would not be able to provide if anyone else would go there. So if Elon Musk wasn't the CEO, they wouldn't be as cool. They would not be as successful, not because they sell more vehicles, but more people believe in their CEO. So look at the whole entire ecosystem. We want to build something that's long and sustainable. People think that chasing trends, doing a bunch of things that are irresponsible to get clicks and views is really successful. But no, the most sustainable things is not chasing one-time customers, but start building lifetime believers. Truly building a community is one of the most important things that you look at now through automation, that you're either building the ecosystem, you're building a community in some way that people can continue to build and utilize systems that can be built beyond whether you're just being a creator. That's something that's so important that people need to understand, that you are bigger than just a musician. You're bigger than just an artist. You're bigger than just a finance person. Be able to be someone that can build communities in this way of automation. As people can become more divided, people want to be healthier, people want to be wealthier, people want to feel like they're a part of something. And that's something that people are lacking, especially now. The more we get use social media, the more that we see things. Because it's getting to a point with social media where you might not even know what's real and what's not. But obviously with your subconscious mind, you might think it's not real, that it's real. You might know it's not real, but it actually looks real because somehow good these AI models are. So being able to understand what true reality is and what isn't. Yeah, and so there's many different things that we can continue to grow on. And we look at like a lot of different things within the economy. It's just that when you look at, there's a lot of different things of different platforms that we can utilize. There's many different things that you all can just utilize as far as being able to understand that's what's happening. A lot of people look at the markets and AI and all this type of stuff, but they really don't think that they don't know how to navigate many different things. Is that how they continue to build their brand, how they can continue to leverage these opportunities out of artificial intelligence. Is almost like so much out there, but the people don't really know where to start. But understanding what type of thing you can utilize when you're actually building your brand, because that's something that a lot of people don't understand. They undervalue the value of the personal brand, but people understand that your personal brand is more important before you actually create your business brand. But look at a brand triangle of what people can provide as far as building something that's sustainable. Is you want to look at the value you provide. That's number one. What do you offer? What is something that you can offer that provides value to other people? Visibility, how you show it. People don't know what you don't show, what you don't tell. If you have some sort of story to tell that's unique, people won't know if you don't tell it, you don't share with the world. And your voice and why it matters. Many people have voices, but they don't use it. But if they do use it, it's not for something that's going to help benefit them. Why? Going on social media. Use the value, visibility, and use your voice, because that's one of the most important things that people can use, that people don't understand how valuable that is and how much actually transforms people's life. There's been many times where I might think I'm not helping people, but really in reality, that might be changing someone's whole entire life just from me using my own voice to help other people thrive in many different situations. And I just want you to understand, wealth building is just way beyond money. It's more about relationships and skills. It's not about just understanding a lot of things, but it's actually applying a lot of things. It's like every conversation reps compounds just like money. It's like your networking equity plus skill is your net worth equity. You want to understand that it's less about how you know, but how much people can actually trust you to get things done. Be able to list 3 different people that in your life that can be able to help add to you and pour into you, that you continue to be better. Like for me, I'm always positioning myself. I'm always networking. I'm always in rooms where I'm not the smartest. I'm always the youngest. And me, I know when to listen and I know when to talk. And when people that are way 10 times smarter than you and are in a room that have way more experience of where you want to be, that's where you get back and you listen. And that's one of the most important things that young people should understand is you have to have the ability to listen. If you learn from someone that's already been in your situation, you'll be able to learn 10 times faster than if you went to go and you tried to make the mistake yourself. So learn from people who have been in a situation further than you and understand that it's okay to make mistakes, that you're not going to be perfect. And they weren't perfect, but understand you can learn from the mistakes they did to make yourself better and become more efficient in what you're doing. That's something that's so important. And a lot of people think about different myths about making 7 streams of income. Of course, people make 7 streams of income, but you don't want to be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Most people that have 7 streams of income, they hyper focused on one thing first, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. They focused on one thing first. And then they continued to leverage that until they got to the point on building that one stream first. And then they help be able to diversify afterwards. Every single top tier person that's exceptional at what they do, public speakers, they do the same speech over and over again. You see many of these CEOs, they are exceptional at what they do. They love to talk about what they're very good at. They're just like regular people, just like you and I. But they're exceptional at what they do at one thing, and that's whatever product or service that they offer, and they know each and everything about it. You've never see a CEO that's over a manufacturing company talk about nothing but manufacturing. You don't see someone that talks about technology or AI. That's something that they're very passionate about. So same thing with you. If you're passionate about music, you want to be a musician, be able to be very passionate about what you do and actually know what you're doing. And then you'll be able to get to a point where you can be able to make those other avenues based off of that first thing that you can leverage off of that. And other people understand that we have a lot of people that look about being creators, but we don't understand the people that get the most payoff are the people that are builders. Would you rather be someone that plays on an NFL team, or would you rather be someone who's the owner? Would you rather be someone who's owner that's working at the McDonald's, or be someone that owns the McDonald's? The whole entire economy, United States government was built off of the risk of businesses. The tax system was meant for people to own businesses, to provide value and take risk. That's why the government gives them different tax breaks. That's for many reasons that gives them incentives. Incentives that reward people to do things gives people more incentives to go and do more and take more risk. And that's why the tax system does that. Like theoretically, if someone is working that's making a pie factory, if someone who took the risk and created the pie factory, they're going to get incentivized by taxes because they're the one that took the risk. Someone who's working in a factory employed by them that can easily be replaced, really isn't taking as much of a risk. So the government doesn't reward the people that's typically directing W-2 income. So understand that the tax system it is what it is, but understand how you can leverage that to help your future. They provide people that provide real estate are taking a risk that the government doesn't have to provide. That's why they give them tax incentives for real estate. So if we're going to play the rules, we might as well play by the game so we can position ourselves to win. Because if you're always trying to play the games, but you don't know the rules, you can never win the game. And that's for anything in life. If you don't know how to operate the systems, then what do you think you're going to do to actually win the system? That was never made for you to win. But if you understand that how you can leverage yourself to the top, you can get there. We want you to understand that it's just not even about being 10 times better each and every day. You don't want to get too high and you don't want to get too low in what you're doing. It's about having that consistency, that 1% better everyday mentality. The people who are successful are the people who do stuff consistently. They're not the people that do great things one time. They're not doing it two times. They're people that have that constant flow within their life. They don't get too high. The highs don't get too highs and the lows don't get too lows. And it's okay. The second thing, I like the mentality of people that love to win. You look at a lot of people that win championships, and the following day, people are still celebrating up things. But people that are successful, like that's in the past. I'm focused on how I can recruit, how I can work, how I can change my craft to get myself better for the next situation. And also, some people need to go with some of these different things. It's okay to celebrate, but if you need to understand when it's time for you to continue to keep working. Another thing is looking at different avenues of just creating something. Like holding cash is something that's so important that people think about. People think that holding cash is something that's truly doing something, but really, if you look at it, the value of your dollar is going down by 10% this year alone. And if someone was like, "Oh, the markets are too high, things are too risky," they would continue to lose out. The valuation of the U.S. dollar going down by 10%, and the value of everything else has gone up tremendously. You can't really afford to go in a position where we cannot put our money to work for us. And that's something that we want to continue to understand what our true power is as a consumer, that you don't have to just have your money sitting in just a basic bank account that gets less than 0.001%. Put in something like IO savings account or CD or bond or things like that can give you a higher rate of return than you just sitting on cash. You want to be able to be someone that's using that as opportunity for capital, and can you have that consistent over time? Be able to put this into a position where you can be able to understand that you're in the person that's in true power of your life. Nobody else is. No one can create their own ceiling for success. So as someone who's an entrepreneur, It's harder to become the person to become successful than it is to build the system to become successful. It takes more time to cultivate the mindset. It takes more time to cultivate yourself. It takes some time to get to understand the skill sets than it does to build the actual multi-million dollar business itself. And your personal growth is a business can only grow as big as you. If you're not someone who's continuing to elevate in different systems and structures and people and environments and different cultures, then that's something that will hinder you from your success of reaching your full potential. But if you're someone who puts around people that's going to help you push you, they're going to help you get way higher. Understand not everyone's going to support you. Understand that a no is not necessarily something that's personal, but it's just something that you can learn from and move on to other people. A lot of people are focused on one no or one yes about an opportunity in their own community that they realize that there's 8 billion people in the world. And that just because that somebody else says no doesn't mean that it's not really where you're going to be. A lot of people look at, I love this different opportunities I saw online. I was looking at this thing that's about the price of water. The price of water, if you look at the airport, it might be $7, which is insane. You look at the price of water, which might be $3 at a convenience store, and you look at, if you could buy it off the street, it might be $1. The difference is that any product you sell or something that you're providing is not about not being worth anything. You just might be in the wrong environment. Because you look at the price of water has a whole entire price difference depending on the environment it's in and the people that it's around. And same thing with you. If it's not working for you in one market, that might mean you just might have to go to another market to position yourself to be in a higher environment. You might be just misunderstood. You might just be in the wrong situation. You might be in the wrong timing. But understand that there is a place for you to thrive. There's a place for you to build wealth. There's a place for you to build health. And understand that it's not about your own self-worth, but it's about you understanding that there's a room for you in this world. That you have an opportunity. That you have something inside of you that can provide value to other people and help them live their life better. And that's something that we continue to provide within our community, build that sort of resilience in each other. You can't do it alone. You need people that surround you to help you become successful. You need that mindset. You need that culture. You need that community. That's truly what's going to help you build that long-term success. And they want us to put us in a situation through systematic challenges, systematic racism, systematic things that have stopped us from working together. But the thing is, what's truly most important is that how we can use that and towards the future. Understand history and learn those lessons from the past and how we can use that towards the future to make things resilient. That we were powerful. If you look at people that don't have that self-esteem, they don't have that identity, they don't have that culture, they don't have that community, they don't have that foundation. They can't truly reach that true potential that they truly were meant to be because they're fighting things that were against them and stacked in their mind, stacked in the community, that things that can harp on what that can keep hold them down from the past and keep them strapped in chains, literally, through their own mindset. Everything that we see is not even a war of fighting wise. It's a war of ourselves, a war with our own self-living beliefs, a war with people that don't truly believe that you can be there. And that's the greatest thing that I think we have is our mindset and what we can do. But you have to have faith. You have to have purpose. You have to have intention. Because if you truly make money, you build wealth. If you don't have that, it doesn't really truly matter. So think about things way beyond money. Think about how you can be able to create it. Like the people that complain all the time on social media, but I believe if you're not someone that's truly living it, you're not someone that's truly providing value or truly helping other people, then you don't have a way to speak. We need less people that are talking, but we need more doers. We need people that can continue to utilize that because that's the most important thing that we need. We need more doers. We need less people on social media just to talk. What are you going to do when the cameras go off? What are you going to do when everyone goes home? What are you going to do when you're sitting by yourself in your own thoughts? Because you truly need to be in that point where you can use your own mind, which is most important, to have that cognitive ability to reason, to have that purpose, to have that intention. These are all those different things that AI can't do. They can't replace you. They replace people who know how to use it. And utilizing this biggest challenge of utilizing AI to build that biggest authentic version of yourself. to create those systems and structures in your life, for you to help connect with more people, to help build off of these different data points and build systems and ecosystems that you can thrive and build on. But the really biggest thing they do is can't change up here. And that's what you're in biggest control of in everything that you see. And that's what true wealth is having the ability to not have someone else to tell you what to do, but you can live your life on your own terms. And doing this for your family, and doing this for your loved ones, doing this for your community. The more amount of money that you have, that becomes a bigger person of you. If you're someone who just always treats people terrible, and if you come make a lot of money, you be that same way. But if you're someone who's truly amazing, provides value, and true shows love and support to others, having more money will create that foundation. We can create those whole entire foundations, those nonprofits and donations to help people across the world. And that's what the bigger picture is for your life. You're the biggest determinant factor for that. And that's something that we continue to use each and every week. So that will conclude this episode of Wealth Wednesday. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to share this to your friends and family. This is something we continue to build. I have some guests back on. We'll get locked back in. I had a couple off weeks, but we're still getting this going. We're still building. We're still networking. And I hope you all have an amazing night. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Corey Phillips 3, CoreyPhillips.org if you want to be able to book me as a speaker, have me come out to your event. I hope you all have an amazing night, and I will talk to you all soon.